Hello, 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 and welcome to yet another TRC podcast. I'm your host, Dane Hennon. To my right, host Levi Gates.
Hey, how's it going, Dane?
Hey, going good. And to my left, host Anthony Fisher.
Hey, Dane, thanks for having me. Glasses gang.
Yes, glasses gang. Here we go. Yes.
All of us got our glasses
One
on.
of us.
Well, I hadn't worn them the last few weeks, and I realized, looking at the iPad and stuff, I was starting to get a little eye strain. Just maybe it's just because of the extra lights and stuff.
You do have to wear glasses, but you choose not to.
Yeah, being farsighted causes me to take it for granted.
Dangerously.
Yeah. So I can drive, but reading is a little tough when it's
Anthony
right in front
and I,
of your
which are
face.
the opposite.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
we can't see far without glasses on.
No.
We also can't see in front of our faces.
No, so I am farsighted, meaning that without glasses, I can see far.
What?
I can't see up close.
This whole time you've been lying to me.
No, yeah, if I have my glasses off, and you put something right here, I can't see what that says.
So, yeah, that's
But
the same
my
as me
eyes are
then.
Still very, I can still see very far away.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I feel
but I
like
also
a
have an
loser.
You're all alone
astigmatism
now.
and
I'm
somewhat of
sorry.
a lazy eye if I don't wear glasses, so,
Oh, yeah, I got one eye that it's just kind of...
Is what it is,
Not pulling its
right?
weight.
Okay, so as the only farsighted person in the room,
Okay, yeah, you can
This
tell
is
us.
great.
It's all right.
Well, no,
Or
I mean,
nearsighted.
You're nearsighted, yeah.
Yeah.
two
So-
farsighted, one nearsighted. How fun is that?
Well,
At least we cover both the bases, so...
True.
welcome.
Also,
to,
you guys are weird and left-handed.
Yeah,
So,
we are both left-handed.
That's kinda
so
strange.
There's that.
There's very few of us left
Good
out
old
there.
southpaw, you know? Well, okay, on that note, housekeeping. Do we have
yeah,
anything?
so we do.
What's up?
Yeah, huge.
What's going on? Nothing important is happening next week or anything.
It
We're
is.
the biggest
Right?
virtual trade show in the world.
Oh,
We
my
don't
goodness.
know. We can't claim that,
Well,
but
I'm gonna
maybe
claim
biggest
it.
virtual detailing
gonna
trade
claim
show.
it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
possibly.
claim it.
Well,
So,
what's the metric for measuring it, I wonder?
I don't really know, Dane, but we
I've
are.
seen some good shows.
We're days away. We are
Yeah.
literally days away
Yeah.
here. I could count the days on two hands still, but just for another day or so, that'll be one hand. But I can't believe it. TR SEMA is coming.
Thank you, Tony.
Next Monday.
right.
And we are really in the final crunch hours of getting everything done, everything from the last bit of graphics and things like that for the trade show or for TR SEMA, all of the intro stuff, all the extra video work, all the extra editing. And then from here, it's going to be us doing a lot of cleanup, right? Getting the studio ready and prepared, going through every crack and crevice with a Detail Factory detail brush, right?
Yeah.
And just cleaning everything, right? Gabe said, he's like, hey, Anthony, I want every nook and cranny of this place detailed.
He actually walked up with one of the mini orange
mini
one.
detail brush.
Yeah, and he was like, here's a pad for your
Yeah.
knees. You need to clean out all the grates of the
Swiss tracks.
Swiss tracks. And I thought that was excessive.
Yeah, I also agree that's a little excessive, and so we're probably not going to do that.
Yeah. That'll be a
But
time for
we
that.
are going to run the floor cleaner, though, which
Yeah.
should be a good time, as
That's
well
always a
as
good time.
probably clean up the white room and everything else. But, so at this point in time, a lot of last-minute things kind of getting tied together.
Yeah,
And then
it's gonna be a lot
before
of
we know
cleaning.
it, I mean,
Yeah.
we're going to be there. So just to give you a recap of who is all showing up for TR SEMA.
Yeah, let's see that list
Levi.
again.
Woo! It's my turn. All right, ladies and gentlemen, back to TR SEMA 2023, happening April 3rd through the 6th next week, live here at the Rag Company YouTube channel. You can watch it if you're at work, open a screen, hang out, and learn from the Rag Company. PNS Products, Color Lock, Yellow Tools, Rupes, Detailer's Helper, Buff Bright, RotaFest, Solution Finish, Optimum Polymer Technologies, Buff and Shine, Diamond Protect, Stiarna Gloss, Lake Country, G-Technic, LC Power Tools, G-Technic Marine, IK Sprayers, The Wrap Institute, Coach Chemi, Viper Chair, DetailWise, Veloci, Auto Wash, Detailers Business Academy, and Flex.
Wow.
All going to be here in studio. Dane brought his case to the party. His glasses
Yeah.
case.
It's a
That's the
clanker.
kind of way he wants to work.
Dean would be the person that brings around a glasses case with him.
Well,
Yes.
Jeff Hennon does that.
just,
He's learned
I,
from his
I
father.
know
Excuse me.
they're literally the
excuse
same.
me.
They
Excuse
carry
me.
Yeah.
I couldn't be bothered to
Me
have
neither.
a
Oh, no.
glasses case
No.
with me.
Yeah.
I only have it with me because it transported them safely here.
I know.
These
but
are
you-
an investment, so
But
I
no,
got to
but
treat
yeah,
them
the-
well.
transport.
These are investment. I wear these every day on my face. I don't
But
take
see,
them off.
if I go driving, it's bad for me with these on, so I have to take them off. So
I
I
know,
have
but
to
that's
place
when you
them
take them and
somewhere.
you go like this.
with a very expensive pair of glasses just hanging around here. My chin hairs will scratch up the lenses.
That's not true.
That's absolutely not true.
Not true.
As Anthony and I wear glasses all the time.
I mean, these have protective
all day.
coatings on them, but the point remains, I'm nervous about
investments.
leaving them out there.
Well, anyway, so you guys know the list. You guys know who's coming. It's going to be absolutely crazy, and we're really excited to see people. So we have people actually showing up here this Saturday.
Yeah.
Levi, you're going to be doing some shuttling, right?
I'm actually headed over Saturday morning to pick up the late, great Alex Duar.
Wait, why late?
It's Dewar.
Well,
that sounded concerning. He's still alive.
You can do her now or do her
He's
later,
still alive.
right?
Do her now or do her later. He's going to be landing early in the morning, and I'm excited to pick him up. He gets in about noon. It's not that early in the morning.
That's easier.
But I'm going to pick him up and then take him over to my house, to the MOS HQ.
Yeah.
Because apparently he's got some gifts for the children.
Oh,
that's nice.
So Augie and Hadley. Yeah, I thought that was very nice of him.
That is very nice.
And then we'll head over to their hotel, drop him off. And then, Dane, if you want to take him from there.
Sure.
And go get rowdy with him.
Yeah.
You're more than welcome
Crazy.
to.
We'll go flexing.
Yeah. And then Sunday morning, heading to the Home to Suites to pick up Alex Duar.
Yeah.
And we are going to go to the airport to pick up some special guests.
Some more
Special guests
people
in Ragnarok.
So what's funny is I would love to be involved in the picking up
You're
of
more
people.
welcome to join us.
I can't. Literally this weekend, I am on dad duty because Katie's not going to be home.
You can bring the baby, put her in the Miata.
Yes. Oh my.
That's
God,
the whole point. Is that like I would want to go pick people up in the Miata, but I can't because I can't. I don't know what to do with my daughter. So
you see, there's a baby seat anchor on that hot dog roll bar.
Monday morning, if you want, you're more than welcome to come to this Home to Suites and pick up people.
Yeah.
Start running a shuttle service, and you're in one seater.
I know I might. Right? They're like Anthony. It's kind of a waste of time, because we need you here.
Jason Rose is like, I'll ride with you, Anthony, on Thursday.
Hop in.
Why not?
Hop in.
But yeah, so we're gonna be picking folks up, and then
Yes, Ricardo.
in Ragnarok, and then the plan is Sunday night we're gonna go out to dinner. So we're gonna try and get everybody together that's in town. So I'll be sending an email to those folks that are coming in on Sunday.
Yeah.
That hey, meet in the lobby of the hotel at 6 o'clock if you're there. Don't be late.
That's the
We'll
plan.
go find a spot to eat.
Yeah.
And then Monday morning, bright and early, we'll be kicking it off. I'll be picking folks up from the Home to Suites, bringing them here to the Rag Company, and we'll be having a grand old time getting TR SEMA started and launched. It's going to be crazy.
We're going to have fun.
It's going to be a fun week, busy week. I'm excited to see everybody. There's a lot of people that are coming that I haven't seen in a while.
Yeah,
that
it's
I'm
been a
very
minute.
excited to see. So, and vice versa. So it'll be a good time, good kickoff.
yeah.
We're excited.
Very good.
Busy week. So get ready for that, folks.
Yeah.
Very busy week.
And seriously, please, even if you just open a window and you mute it,
We joke,
we
but
would
at the same time, we're
appreciate
also
it.
serious.
We would really
views
appreciate
would
it.
help.
yeah, just to have an open window on your computer screen.
Just so we can keep doing
I'll
this.
put
so
it
we
this
can
way:
keep doing this.
views during the live stream count more than views after the
Yeah,
fact.
we would rather have you just keep your window open instead of popping in, commenting, bouncing out.
Yeah.
Just say, hey man, sorry I can't make it, but I'm leaving the window open.
Yeah.
Other housekeeping things.
Yeah.
We did have a final kind of company meeting yesterday involving the Grand Ambassador program. There's going to be news to come about that, but let's just say things took a wild turn where I was not expecting them to go. I mean, I was kind of hoping they might go this way someday eventually, but they took a pretty crazy turn. So there will be more updates during the week of TR SEMA and probably an idea of what's going to be happening. But let's just say it's kind of a surprising and exciting thing.
gonna be fun.
I'm really, I really hope it works out as awesome as I think it will. But yeah, there's just going to be a lot of changes happening to that, and just kind of the Rag Company sponsorship program. So if you know anybody that's been wanting to apply, or anybody that wants to kind of be part of our our crew, our cult following, or whatever you want to call it, then probably tell them to tune in for TR SEMA, where more information will come down the pipeline. So that's pretty much it, though. I mean, it's crunch week, and I think we're hopefully we had some relaxing weekends right before all the craziness, right,
Sure.
Dane?
Yeah, I mean, relaxing,
Dane,
sure.
what'd you do? Would you massage chair it up?
Well, yeah, when all else fails, good morning to you too, Peter Brookins. Raining.
What's up, Peter?
But yeah, so obviously, every single day you must, decompress in the massage chair, but that's besides the point.
Every single day.
Well, not really.
I just find it kind of weird that instead of using a normal leather conditioner, you're using olive oil.
Yeah.
And
I ran out of butter, so
Crisco.
That's gross.
Yep. No, point being,
It's not so much the feeling of a buttered massage chair. It would be the smell as the milk product curdles.
this chair smells French. Okay, so
Why is the cat
anyway.
licking it? Callie licking the leather on the dog and the cat are really attracted to that chair.
Salt the butter, right?
Salt butter all over it.
It's so much worse now. Yeah, so I mean, my weekend did the normal stuff, trying to bike a little bit more because, man, it seemed weird. Like I only I've been walking still, but I haven't been doing it as much as I had been previously, and it really caught up with me fast. I went from being
cold too, though.
Yeah, I went from being down in like the 250s pound wise. I'm back to 280 now.
Whoa.
It's killing me. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't want that. And then it didn't help that I saw a comment where somebody made a back to McDonald's joke on one of the comments, and I'm like, dude, okay, I know I'm big. I don't need your help.
Ouch.
Yeah, I was
Dane.
like,
Ouch.
okay,
That's a deep
right
cut.
there on a TRC post. So I was like, thanks, dude.
So
So duly noted.
What about
but,
also maybe getting a treadmill for your house?
I mean, I used to have a treadmill.
That way, but I mean, like that way when it's like really, because walking seems
Sure.
to be something that you enjoy, right?
I really do.
And, you know,
I like it because of the change of scenery and all
true,
that.
but I mean, like nowadays, being able to set something up with all the virtual things that they have now.
No, of course.
You know, maybe go for a walk along the top of Machu Picchu in the comfort of your own home.
I mean, sure, I could try it.
I'm just thinking,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying for those days that you can't, or maybe a podcast, throw it in your headphones, do a 30-minute walk.
Well, and that's how I normally do my
know?
walks. Is I got a podcast and
Yeah.
I'm playing while I do it because
Yeah.
that gives me a good sense of like how long I've been walking, rather than paying attention to a clock the whole time. I just kind of know if a podcast's wrapping up. Oh, it's been about an hour. But no, that's been helpful. But other than that, did my normal stuff, rode the bike, went for a walk, did that kind of stuff because yikes. But other than that, I went and saw a movie because my folks wanted to go see a movie. Unfortunately, it overlapped with something else I wanted to do on Saturday, which was I wanted to go down to, this is going to sound silly, I wanted to go down to the Greyhound station here in Boise.
Yeah.
Because there was a special event going on.
Right. There's always a special event at the Greyhound bus stop in Boise.
Basically, Boise is home to a music festival called the Tree Fort Music Festival. It's, it's like those ones you hear about in like Oregon or Washington, that kind of stuff. But it's a local homegrown one. They've been doing it for years. I went to the first 6 years of it, like nonstop. I used to go to that all the time.
Tree Fortish.
But I haven't been to it for the last few years at all. So I just totally missed out on it. But I wanted to go to this one because they had Aaron Paul and Bryan Cranston in town just serving up like tequila to people from their Dos Hermanos truck or whatever. And I was like, that'd be kind of cool. But they're doing it at the Greyhound station, which sounds funny, except Greyhound station got converted into a music venue for the purposes of the event. Yeah. So like I drove past there, but I saw how many people were there, and I was like, oh, this isn't happening.
How many? Like how many would you say? 100 people?
Several hundred people,
wow. Okay.
Like bordering on 1,000. It felt like.
So you would have probably waited in line to not be able to be greeted with tequila.
You could enter that line, and there was absolutely no guarantee you'd be at the front of it by the end of the day.
Yeah,
like it was that kind of scenario. So I'm looking, going, eh.
My feed was filled with folks that literally were just standing in line.
Yeah, so it was basically just a whole, because everybody's excited, just like, because Aaron Paul's a local guy, so everybody likes him. But of course, Bryan Cranston being there, they're like, oh my God, you got them together. It's like, cool. But
they got Hal.
Yeah, at the same time,
dad.
I understand it. So yeah, you got Hal. That's obviously why you want to see it. It's Malcolm in the Middle. But so that would have been really cool. It was just nice to know that they're like doing their thing around here. And apparently they're going to other places around town kind of doing that too, between the Olympic and Western Proper, these other places. So it would have been cool. But instead, my folks wanted to do dinner and a movie. So we got together with my folks, my brother, and Maylee and Kelly, and we went and saw John Wick 4. So my folks love the John Wick movies. I love the John Wick movies.
John Wick movies as well.
Big fan. Big
Second
fan.
one was just a waste of time.
Anthony's problem was he never watched the first one.
Carly
he saw the
asked
second one first.
Carly asked me on Thursday. She goes, are you and Anthony and Dane planning something to go see John Wick 4? And I said, no, because Dane and I are the only ones that like John Wick.
Right.
And she goes, what?
What's wrong with
Anthony doesn't like the movie. And I said, Anthony doesn't really know much about the John Wick series because he only watched the second one on an airplane.
And he hated
got
it.
confused. And,
Well, it's a confusing,
and so she goes,
series.
huh. Yeah, but
I go,
that
why is
shouldn't
he
be
so
a problem.
angry?
It's almost like the four movies have a continuity.
Where did the coins come from? And then I had to watch the first one. I said, okay, this makes a little more sense, but I still think there needs to be a prequel to John Wick. Instead of going further with it, they need to go back to give us some more insight, right?
This is where I'm going to put
Learn
on my
about
little.
why they call him the Baba Yaga.
This is where I'm going to put on my film school hat for like 5 seconds and just say, not everything needs to be explained in a movie for it to be effective, Anthony.
Well, Dane, because then you just have all these theories.
Because
and all these
otherwise you
people that
become the
trying to
mother-in-law
get on
whispering
Reddit.
in her like nephew's or her son-in-law's ear or whatever. Is that the bad guy?
Yeah,
like
That actually
just-
happened.
That is so
for me
not
when we went and saw
necessary.
Doctor Strange. The people next to me were asking questions through the whole movie. Who's that? Why is he doing
It's always that. Who's
Is
that? Why are they
magic?
doing that? And
What's
it's
he
like
doing?
maybe if you watch the rest of the movie, context clues will help you piece together how that person fits into the narrative.
Yeah, I know, but you really just
And
gotta-
sometimes the point of a movie is the journey. It's not just the I need my facts up front because I can't handle ambiguity.
There just needs
Just
to be a little
so-
bit more backstory.
yeah, I got
to
some
what's going on.
opinions
Why
about that
is
stuff.
John Wick such an angry guy, right?
Yeah.
Why is he killing all these people?
He just wants peace.
He does want
He
peace,
wants to be left alone.
but he's just
That's right,
slaughtering
Peter.
all these people, and I just want to know the answer, right? So, anyway.
So basically, you watch the first movie, and I told you had to watch the first movie because it might change your mind.
Yeah,
And
and-
you did enjoy it.
So
Yeah,
first
they need
we
to
watch
movie.
1, 2, 3. Just one.
I'm not
2,
watching
3.
2 again. That was a garbage
watch all
movie.
three of
But
them.
I'd probably watch 1 and 3, and then maybe I'd watch 4 if they end up coming up with a prequel. But what did what did your family end up thinking of John Wick 4 though?
Really enjoyed it, actually. And it actually had the second biggest opening of Keanu Reeves' career. So not bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Really good.
Just
Next to
just
The
short
Matrix?
of the just short of the Matrix. The second Matrix, I believe. So
Jeez.
not bad. Not too shabby.
Okay.
But it was a good movie. Same time, I did kind of feel like as a movie, just like my mini review here, action was like borderline nonstop. But if you're somebody who didn't watch the other movies, kind of like Anthony, and you just somehow found yourself watching this on its own, you might not think it's such a good movie. I'll say that much because it just picks up where the others are going, and it doesn't bother explaining a whole lot to you. You're just along for the ride. So if you watch the others, in context, treat it like an episode of a TV show that happens to have a much higher budget. That way you'll enjoy it. But if you watch it on its own, yeah, I would say you're probably just going to give it like a middling score.
You know what else I heard? It's just lighten up the charts.
Yeah.
The new Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, is that the Chris Pine
Is it
one?
actually lighting up the charts?
96% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's significantly better than I expected it to
Yeah.
be.
That's surprising.
Pretty insane.
What?
Yeah,
That
with
high?
Chris Pine, yeah.
Because I distinctly remember there
is
being
it-
a Dungeons and Dragons movie from like the 90s.
There
it-
is that one, but
is
they
it
made a
out
new version. Yeah,
now?
it's out.
Okay.
It came out March 3rd, I guess.
What?
Yeah. I'm
And it's
also
doing that
just as
good?
confused. Yeah. It's all over the
What do you
the
say? Do
internet.
you guys want to go see it tonight?
Thank you, Daytona.
We can go see it tonight.
I would like to see the
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons.
I'd be down to watch it.
Are you guys
And
down to
sure,
watch
why
tonight?
not?
All right, tonight.
Well, I don't know if I can go tonight.
Yeah,
Let's see if we
right.
can.
Talk to your people. I can. 9 o'clock. Let's see. We'll see you guys there.
Oh, everybody excited that I was angry and snarky for a minute. So thank you for that, guys. It's just certain things will tap into like a primal instinct to me, and I have to get it out.
What? That's a good question. Joey says, since you're into skipping movies, Anthony, which Fast and Furious would you skip from the lineup?
Too Fast, Too Furious. That's my least favorite one.
Yeah, you could skip Too Fast, Too Furious. That's a.
Has nothing to do with world building
that can be
other
a
than bringing in
standalone
Ludacris.
movie.
Tokyo
and-
Drift has the
Taj.
best vibes, even though I think a lot of people sleep on it for some reason. I think
Has
the
the best
younger
vibes, it
generations like it better, but some of the old heads who liked the original movie didn't like it so much. So it was kind of a thing where you had to get people acclimated, but the vibes in it are immaculate.
Yeah, I also think that you can skip the 9th one.
I mean, the 9th one is a cartoon.
It is a
the
cartoon.
9th one is ridiculous, but it has.
I liked it.
It has some.
I liked it. I
perhaps
thought it was. I thought it
unintentional
was the
humor.
best for the first movie to the
Pockets
ninth.
ain't empty, cuz.
And the thing is Too Fast, Too Furious. The hardest part about that is like because as when I first fell in
my
love with
least
that
favorite.
with that Mitsubishi Evo, and I was like,
Right?
oh my
Yeah.
God,
You're like the
car's amazing, right?
Evo guy.
And I'm still willing to skip that movie just because of that movie was so yellow. Like the tinge of that movie. Whenever I think of that movie, I just think of like same thing with like Crank. I just think of like this yellow,
overexposed yellow.
See, I love Crank. It's one of my absolute top movies of all time, in spite of the color palette. But as in the biz, we would call
it's Dane's Desert Island movie.
We would call that the ruder version of calling it a P filter. Is basically it just looks like.
So Glenn, you didn't like Tokyo that much.
A lot of movies from that time.
The thing about Tokyo Drift you have to understand is literally it is the world building of kind of setting the vibe of what that JDM feel was for a lot of us here in the U.S. that didn't know what that JDM feel was. Levi Gates went to Japan in 2000.
It was 2000, the year 2000.
Year 2000. So you got to witness the JDM vibes, right? You got to see the
I came back with JDM vibes, and nobody else here even had those for years. Felt like I was living in the future.
Well, and you were like, hey, like check out this uniform I got, this schoolboy's uniform I got from Japan. I'm like, Levi, you shouldn't have that.
Yeah, people were like, why are you wearing those masks? And I was like, doing this.
Too fast.
Because this is going to be big someday. And they were like...
Too Fast, like, greatest crime to me was that it just... Between the quality of some of the action in it, like the effects and stuff were a little tough. The acting, of course, is tough. But the first movie had that, too. It wasn't like it was unique. But the first movie has a place in my heart that I'll just never like be able to be mad at it for. Like it's
the first one?
Yeah, the first movie. But Too Fast, I just felt like I like some of the characters you get from it that they bring on later, Tej and Roman and all that. That's fine. That's great. But the movie itself, it just feels like a lame 80s, episode of Miami Vice or something that gets forgotten, pushed away. It's just kind of whatever. Okay. Whereas the other movies had the memes are amazing from it though, like the Ejectocito, Pockets Ain't Empty, all that stuff. I get
those are great.
But the movie itself is not very strong, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm.
But the memes are worth it. I get it. I understand.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you on that, Dane. But I mean, the first one though, there's nothing like it, man. I'm telling you, the opening scene. It gets me every single time, right? 3 Honda Civics, right?
Yeah, it's great.
Green underglow,
turbo sounds.
So
I don't know why. Like you can't put that movie on. I can't not look at it.
Yeah,
I will be drawn to it, as well as the Eclipse pulling up at the Dodger Stadium. I think Dodger Stadium, right? Pulling up on that parking lot, revving the engine. I'm like, he's gonna top out at 140 here. On a straight, I don't even know how that's possible, but he's just going to start spinning, and I just can't ever get.
Fun fact: Anthony and I pulled up yesterday morning. We hard parked out front. Right?
Yeah,
he pulled up in the Civic.
I saw that.
I pulled up in the Elantra.
You're right.
And I hopped out and I said, "Talk to me, Jesse. Something's not right." and
you're a nasty hole in your fuel map. Or whatever.
He said, "There's a hole in your fuel map or something." And then we walked in laughing and giggling like this. And then we actually pulled up the scene.
Yeah.
And then we watched that scene again.
Oh god.
And it is ludicrous in the amount of stuff to the point they literally say that Vince's car, when Jesse's going to get it fixed, it's going to be able to pull 10s. That Nissan nines. That Nissan Maxima with those giant chrome wheels.
They didn't convert it. It's still front wheel drive.
Right.
It's still,
that car is going to pull like 9 seconds
I'm
on
sorry.
these.
For whatever aero benefits that body kit totally
insane
had, you did not overcompensate for the fact that it just added weight and didn't do anything else.
No, it was
just random.
When I listened closely and I heard Jesse say, a couple changes and you'll go 9s. I'm like looking at this Maxima, like with all season tires.
Yeah.
And I think it was on like 18 inch chrome wheels. Yeah. I'm like, that's not running 9s ever.
There's no way.
I like that these movies have
no roll cage in it. There's nothing.
Like Joey said, shifting 12 gears to top out at 140. Nowadays, we're getting to a point where transmissions do almost have that many gears, but back then, that is just not.
It's pretty funny, though, when you start rewinding
transmission
with
like semi-truck worth of gears.
There's a lot of fake stuff in the movies.
A lot of movie magic.
I think it was just... That's what the beauty of a lot of it is too, because it's funny for people that really that are really car people, but it doesn't matter to us though. We still watch it and go,
Same reason I enjoyed the Gone in 60 Seconds movie, even though it's not particularly like in the vein of movies. It's not like a great movie. It's still fun to watch.
It's one of the best movies ever.
Cars and stuff, and I love.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's one of the best movies ever. Gone in 60 Seconds.
It's a really good one.
It's a fun
I still
one.
use that line. Always was a sucker for a redhead.
Well,
whenever I get a red car in.
I mean, that
I
one
use
works.
that. It's a perfect line.
Good brakes too. Yeah, well, and that and the lowrider bit, like that will always be permanently, okay, let's ride. Like that's always stuck in your head forever.
Steal 50 car. Boost 50 cars.
Boost. Yeah, that's right.
50 cars.
50 days,
Yeah.
50 one night.
Anyway, a lot of good memories
Anyway,
there.
all right. So what else did you watch John Wick for? And then what happened after that?
Yeah, so basically, then I got to daydreaming about my freaking garage situation again. I'm so bad about this. I keep tweaking the ideas, but I'm trying to be more realistic about
So
it.
you
Right?
have you gotten your stakes and your rope yet and started digging it out?
So
Staking out
I'm
the area?
right at the point where I want to stake
Measuring it?
and run some tape and kind of figure out dimensions. So actually, I've totally shifted what I thought I was going to do originally, where it's like, okay, build the garage in the front of the
I'll tell you,
house.
that garage at my dad's house
Yeah,
that we were at last week.
yeah.
I remember the day he grabbed yard stakes at the store and a bunch of rope
Sure.
or
yeah.
string, and he literally strung out that layout for that shop.
And that shop
in our
is like,
backyard, 900 square feet.
I was going to say,
three
it feels like
cars.
it's almost 1,000. So yeah,
Three
900
cars
is
is
about right.
900.
Okay. Yeah.
But
and
I remember the
that's
day
nice.
he did that.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, it's achievable.
So
Start
I
laying
have
out your ideas.
Except my idea has kind of shifted now. So the garage is going to be kind of like a back burner thing because what I want to do with that is going to be, well, frankly, that would be like bordering on obsessed garage money, and I'm not there. So I'm just like, okay, that can hold that off for a little bit. But what I want to do, and this is important to me because I feel like the real limitation I have at that house right now is I got this skinny driveway that kind of deltas at the top. You could probably park 4 or 5 cars there if you wanted to, but everybody's going to be on top of each other. It's not fun trying to get out.
You're just going to be hitting
It's
cars
just-
as you back
yeah,
out.
Having a party there isn't very fun. I can't like invite people up without worrying about what the parking situation is going to be like. So
Parking lot.
I kind of want
Concrete
to
pad.
take the section of my driveway that goes next to the yard, eliminate the chunk of the yard that doesn't really get used anyway, all the way up through where my patio goes to that door on the first level, like back there. That's a good like 30 feet back, maybe 35 feet back. It's a good distance from the driveway. Turn that into a retaining wall so you keep like where the house and the patio are up like a foot or two, and then come down a retaining wall and then make a nice big concrete pad down below.
I like it.
That's going to become
With
like
the
a
potential
parking
to build
area
on top of that to build your garage.
so here's the
around
thing
it.
was from there I want to build like a carport, like a steel leg carport that extends the deck off the front of the house and turns into like a party platform where, yeah, you have like a little fireplace, stuff like that out there, but you can park cars safely under it while having like a usable platform up above. Maybe the staircase goes down to the yard or something, but it's like all accessible from the back. And then underneath that carport have something like storage lockers or some kind of like extra shed type space in it that I could build those store like outdoor furniture and things
Yeah,
when I'm not
I
using
like
them
it.
and I don't want to expose them to the elements. There's a lot of creative things I could do, but that's much more within reach financially than building like a big expensive garage or something like that. This is something that I could probably do over the course of like a year or two, just lay out a big concrete pad. I've even got a neighbor down the street who says like free concrete estimates like right in front of his thing. I'm like, well, he's right there, man. I should just ask him and have him take a look. But yeah,
like
so it's basically figuring out like excavation and stuff like that. But I really like that idea because I love sitting out on my deck and just like enjoying the view and stuff. But being able to like go out further, I feel like the view would be a lot better because right now there's like trees kind of in the way. I could see the city if I was like far enough forward.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it's appealing to me, but it also can make a cool place for like taking pictures of cars, like in the kind of setup because the sun sets right at the horizon line where my yard is.
Yeah.
So you could have some killer shots, like if you kind of set up a car, kind of parked it right on a pad there and stuff, and I didn't have like a big fence in the way or something. It could be kind of cool.
No,
so
I like
I don't know.
it.
I'm just
I like your idea.
thinking
I
of
think
fun
it'd be pretty
ideas,
rad.
and then maybe people would actually want to come and visit me.
Yeah, maybe.
So yeah, that'd be nice.
That would be
Yeah.
nice, Dane. That's nice. It's a nice thought, is what that is.
Yeah.
I like it.
So anyway, you get it. So that's what I'm throwing out there, just as ideas. But that's enough from me. So what about you? What did you do this weekend?
Oh, man, what a weekend it was. Friday night, Carly and I took the kids to the warehouse for dinner. We wanted to try and start taking the kids to do more things, right?
Yeah.
So we took, I had proposed last weekend that we should go to the warehouse for dinner. Boise's got this new, I call it the food warehouse.
The warehouse is like a food court. It's like a mall food court.
It's like a
without
mall
the
food court, but fancy. It's
Yeah,
got a couple
it's
bars
nice.
in there. It's got
There are
like
bars. Yeah.
7 different restaurants in it. And so Carly and I went a couple weeks ago. We really liked it. We thought it was kind of neat, but we didn't get any food there. So then we thought, well, let's go back. Let's take the kids. Let's try something fun with them.
Sure.
So that's what we did Friday night. So we headed over there. And it was Tree Fort, started Tree Fort. So the town was packed. Downtown was packed.
Just
lots of weirdos walking around. It's
shortage.
everything that I want for my children to experience.
Yes.
To be able to walk around and move out of the way when there's a gentleman with a large fur hat and lime green pants and a leather jacket, no shirt on, and it's 30 degrees.
Daddy, he's wearing a
ferret as a pet.
And a ferret as a pet. Just got to move out of the way, bud. This guy's walking here, And then also to see all the, hipsters around. Yeah. So we cruised in. Augie was very excited to see the place. He was like, oh, my gosh, I'm getting a grilled cheese sandwich, which, by the way, that grilled cheese place, insane grilled cheese sandwiches. Carly and Hadley got pizza, and so we brought our food back, found a table, sat down, started eating that. Kids ate, which was awesome because that's a big thing when you're a parent and your children don't eat and you've just taken them somewhere. So for us, it was a big win to go like, oh, my gosh, this is something we can start doing. Like they'll eat here.
Yeah.
Which is nice. So then Carly and I had looked and said, we need to do something else. Friday afternoon, we had met up for dinner or for lunch, and we went to the Bitter Creek Ale House.
Nice.
On Friday for lunch, Carly and I did, and we noticed the kids menu that they now created there. We thought, gosh, we could bring the kids here.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of it is just trying to figure out, like, finally our kids are old enough to maybe be more mature and go, you can bring them out to places. So we ate. And then we noticed that the gate was now open because they've been remodeling that building. There was a theater, a Bodo theater, an 8 cinema theater that they had gone under during the pandemic. And one of the other theaters here locally bought it and completely redesigned the whole thing. It would have been
such a waste to let that go otherwise.
Beautiful. That new theater is beautiful in there. And it's very much my style.
Nice.
And so you walk in, you go up the escalators, and the theater's on the second floor.
Is the ticket booth still on the ground
No,
floor?
they cut the whole ticket booth out, and that's now the entrance into the warehouse.
Oh, because that was an elevator shaft too, wasn't it?
There's the elevator still there.
Okay.
So you can do that as well. So we got to check it out. So it was like, wow, that's open. So we walked in, went up the escalators, checked it out. You basically buy tickets as you buy concessions.
Okay, that makes more sense.
And then you go into the movie. So we were like, holy cow, we could start coming here. And then we realized our kids are old enough that we could like leave them at home and go to a movie, which is a terrifying but also exciting thought to go, oh, this could be, our world is opening up. Like, this is nuts. So
good call, Alex.
Yeah, you guys could.
I'll get some exercise.
You could totally come get the tandem. That was what we did Friday night. So super fun night as a family. Got to be able to do that. And then Saturday morning, Friday night. Yeah. Oh, and then Pie, Idaho. I forgot. Carly.
Idaho.
So the kids found a pie shop there too. Pie store. Sell pieces of pie. Friday night is their chocolate cream pie night. And those are my kids.
Pies.
My kids' favorite is a chocolate cream pie. So
dang.
We got a couple slices of that. Insane. Absolutely insane.
Warm?
So,
is it warm?
Yeah, well, it's cool. It's a cream, so you got to keep it cool.
Yeah.
Saturday they have
crust warm.
Yeah.
Or if they kind of
it was pretty normal, but Saturdays they do a banana cream.
Oh, that's good.
So, but anyway, we got 2 slices of the chocolate cream, which was a good size slice. I mean, that big. It was good. I mean, it was enough.
I call that a healthy slice, but that's not healthy at all.
Augie and Hadley split a slice. Carly and I split a slice, and it was plenty of pie for us.
Wow.
And so, absolutely delicious. The kids were like, "There's a pie place," which I love that they love pie. So we, but anyway, that was Friday night, and then I got a text from Keith Duplessis saying, "Hey, in town for my nephew's wedding. Wondering if I could swing by and do a tour of the MOS HQ. Maybe we grab some coffee." And I said, well, I'm working on a truck this weekend.
Yeah.
But you are more than welcome to stop by, say hello, hang out, and come on over. And he's like, all right. So Saturday morning, Carly took the kids and they went to, they went to the library for a bit and then came back. So during that time, I had the house. Keith showed up, working on a truck. So the truck I was working on is a pickup from my buddy Wayne.
Okay.
He just finished another little OBS Chevy pickup and he bought another one for $3,000. So I had to clean it because it hadn't been
Still
touched.
finding trucks for that cheap.
100,000 miles on this sucker, Dane.
What year?
It's like a 98. It's pretty crazy.
What configuration?
It's a short box, standard cab.
Oh, okay. Oh, he's got a short box, short bed. Okay.
Yeah,
Man,
so
that's clean.
Fix those
so the only
headlights
thing
up.
that was the
Good.
problem with it was he goes, it's my little beater truck. I'm going to do some fun stuff with it. He just finished his red one, which is lowered, 22s.
6 or 8?
One, it's a 305 V8 in there.
Okay.
But he just finished his red pickup that he just put a bunch of money and got it fully repainted, lowered, did a 4.6 drop on it, wheels and tires. I mean, beautiful truck. One best of class for the Roadster show 2 weeks ago, his red
Good
truck.
for them.
Wow.
And the guy showed up while he was at the car show and goes, I got a truck. If you want to buy it, $3,000, little white Chevy around the corner here. So he's like, all right, drove over and looked, and he's like, okay, here you go.
Yeah, okay.
I'll give you money for it. And he's excited because that's going to be his new little project truck. And I said, this is a perfect project truck because it's got work truck door panels, work truck seat, but it's got carpet, it's got air conditioning, it's got a V8.
Oh, interesting.
I said, and he goes, well, I'm going to just 4.6 drop, do the same thing, tint the windows, replace the windshield, find a different grill for it, new bumpers, just make it a nice truck. He goes, but the paint is what's bad.
Yeah.
So he goes, the clear coat has hardened and turned yellow and started fracturing.
Oh.
So the clear on a white truck has faded yellow.
Yeah.
So I spent the weekend wet sanding the whole truck and breaking all the broken clear as much as I could off the vehicle, and then sanding with 1500 those panels to try and get some sort of, I don't know if you got that picture, Nick, the other picture, try and get a patina-like finish because of all the broken clear coat on the surface of the truck, and then to buff it. And it's mostly on the cab and the front fenders. The hood has a broken piece of clear paint, but there's not a lot I could do to really get that because it's fracturing.
Right.
This side came out much better than the driver's side. The roof didn't come out hardly at all because it's just, there's nothing there, and there's just a big chunk of yellow sitting on the roof. So it just kind of looks weird.
So it's prime for a respray eventually.
Yeah, but he's also like, dude, I just spent like
doesn't
20
care.
grand on paint on this truck, on the other truck. I'm not going to do that. I think we patina it, and then I'll lower it, throw some cool wheels on it, tint the windows, put a new windshield, and just drive it. It'll be my new daily. And he goes, and then I can do some cool stuff with the interior. He's like, I found some buckets at another junkyard. I got some different door panels I could throw on it. So all in all, super fun project truck. But that's what I worked on this weekend.
Made
mostly
you want
getting
one again, huh?
Well, I have the red truck sitting
the red
there.
truck, but you really want your little.
No, I like the red truck, but if I had to, I told you guys in the live, if I had to redo the red truck again, I would look for a V8.
Yeah.
And I would look for air conditioning.
Okay.
And then I probably would have kept it or keep that truck even more. Like I would make it mine to do
This
do
was
some really
more
cool
of an
stuff.
involuntary keep at this
This
point.
was, but if I had a short box,
short box
I'd be
is
doing
what
the
did it
exact
for
same
you.
thing Wayne was doing. I'd be working on this thing, trying to make it a nice little pickup.
Yeah.
So, and then this weekend, I watched Final Destination last night.
Wait, the original?
I've never seen Final
You never.
Destination.
Oh boy.
So Carly has been asking me for years to watch pretty much our whole marriage. She's like, I can't believe you've never watched Final Destination. I said, yeah, I don't tempt fate like that.
You just got to look it in the eye sometimes.
So,
It's a whole
part of this
zero-sum game
rebirth
thing.
is to take on these kind of
right.
things, right?
Sure.
So last night we watched it, and it was glorious.
Yeah.
And I had a blast watching it. It was a
'Cause
hilarious,
it's
great,
fun, even though it's
fun
like
movie.
ridiculous.
Well,
It's
the good
fun.
news is that there's several others.
There
that
are
can
plenty.
watch.
I
started
pretty much
noticing, I was like,
stopped at
holy
2.
cow.
The second one is the one that seared into my mind because of the log coming off the truck. But,
Yeah.
Other than that, and just like the horrible, the motorcycle crash, all that stuff. But
But yeah, I was dying laughing watching that and seeing the
Yeah, see, he knows.
The airplane.
Exactly.
Watching the airplane and having the large amount of, like, that plane had plenty of leg room, but was also super janky and beat up, which I thought was very funny. And then the fashion of 2000.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it's
And
best.
going,
The best.
I didn't wear any of those clothes. I feel really proud. And we were talking about it last night, and I was like, I feel really proud of myself.
Dodged a lot of faux
that I didn't
pas.
wear any
What
of
about the
those types of
sunglasses?
outfits.
Did you have any of those types of sunglasses? No early 2000 sunglasses?
No. Well, I had glasses, so I
Yeah.
didn't wear sunglasses.
Yeah,
but-
people who wore like the super tiny sunglasses.
Yeah,
like, really
I was
thin
never
ones.
that.
It's just-
I was never that kid. I had the Caesar haircut,
Oh, yeah, I had the Caesar haircut.
but I got
for a
that
long
in
time,
'98.
too. Yeah,
I remember I got that
yeah.
in '98,
Yeah.
and by 2000 I
Caesar.
started going up and back.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's just kind of fun to watch and go like, oh my gosh, that is hilarious to see that. So, but yeah, we some of us wore all those clothes. Levi. Yeah, I was a jeans. I was telling my wife, I said I wore 501s, Levi's 501s, and then I had a number of Dropkick Murphys T-shirts that I had owned, and New York hardcore, East Coast hardcore punk.
Nice.
Like Agnostic Front, The Business, Dropkick Murphy shirts. That's what I wore in 2000.
Because why not?
And I also wore a now defunct clothing line
Ooh.
called Atzlan,
Don't even know that one.
Aztlan. It was lowrider, like
Interesting.
Mexican heritage, like Aztec warriors.
Okay.
Like
You're only 6%
like
though, Levi.
Aztec
He was
warriors
leaning in
and
hard, though.
lowriders at the same time on the back of these two. And I was like, those are the coolest T-shirts I've ever seen. I can't remember where I bought them from. And anyway, so that was what I wore. So it was kind of funny to go like see these other outfits.
Mervyn's.
Yeah, Mervyn's.
Oh,
Yeah, the good stuff, man.
Mervyn's. I haven't heard Mervyn's. I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Yeah,
Man.
it's pretty crazy.
Wow.
So, but yeah, so but the rest of the weekend was really fun. We tried teaching the kids Sunday night. We watched Return to Snowy River,
Okay.
which is a beautiful movie. It's
Yeah.
probably one of my favorites. And Carly and I put it on, and I was like, "Oh, I know what we're gonna watch." And we put that on, and my kids were like, could not sit and watch a movie.
Oh.
And I was so like, because they've been doing really good with like watching Lord of the Rings and watching, Star Wars. And
Probably because there's enough compelling action.
You get
They're
them on
not
Narnia
getting
yet?
antsy.
no, I wasn't a Narnia kid either. So
Well, you got to give them a chance to at least watch Narnia.
we'll see.
I mean,
We'll let them
it's
read
not
the books.
bad.
I'll let them read the books first. But yeah, it was one of those where I thought, all right, we're gonna make a departure. You're gonna watch something else on Sunday here. Let's watch a movie. We made dinner. I made spaghetti and meatballs, and we sat down in the living room. Even I said, you can eat in the living room. Like, we're gonna put on a movie though.
Wow.
And they were like, what movie are we gonna watch? And I said, this is an old one, but it's a movie we watched as kids.
Yeah.
And
Wait,
we
what
want to
year
watch
was that
you.
one?
86, 89
Okay,
or
yeah,
something like that.
mid-late
85. It was a mid 80s movie. And I said, we're going to watch it because this is just a movie that you have to have in your sphere.
Sure.
And man, they could not. It wasn't until halfway through. Finally, we just said, we gave up. Carly and I said, fine, just go play in your room, do whatever you need to do. And then when the climactic scenes came, then it was like, all right, pause it, get in here. You're going to watch him ride his horse down the hill.
Yeah.
You're going to watch the whole gang of horse race of the guys racing their horses after the bad guys. Like, you got to watch this. You got to see this. And then they were like, that was a great movie. Oh my gosh. Like, we finished it. And they were like, and Carly and I were making lists. We're like, all right, Last of the Mohicans.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Like, you got to, there are
Dances with
movies.
Wolves.
No, not Dancing, but Last of the Mohicans. And so,
The Revenant.
no, but like, The Revenant. No, we're not watching
Hey,
that.
kids, you scared of bears?
No, but like Carly and I have like I don't know if Anthony, if you and Katie have this. We have like Carly and I have movies that are core movies to
Yeah.
us
No, we don't.
as a couple. Like, these are movies that we will
Sure,
watch
yeah.
together, anytime, any place, that are us. And so like the main one that like we have Big Lebowski and we have Last of the Mohicans. Those are our two, like, Carly and I could like
Both
only have those
very
movies for
solid
the rest of
movies.
our lives and just be content to watch those because they're that kind of movie. And so like we'd like to, and Return to Snowy River is one of those, but it's one of those things that like I'm trying to teach my children
A little more patience.
A little more patience in a movie and a little more, I don't know, a different viewpoint.
Show Waterworld.
And I'm going to show Waterworld.
Waterworld's a great place.
I saw that movie. I remember watching that at 14 at the Egyptian.
Oh, man.
But anyway, it's that kind of thing. So I'm looking at like, how do we, within reason, like we talked earlier, Tommy Boy. Tommy Boy's a great movie.
Sure.
I watched that at 10 years old.
Yeah.
I'd like Augie to be at least 10 before he watches that, maybe 9 if he can handle it. I just don't trust him.
Yeah.
So
as soon as he sees Joe Dirt, it's all over.
he's never seen Joe Dirt.
Yeah.
I can't let him watch that.
It's
But the point is,
all
it's
over.
just, it's trying to figure out, like, and Anthony, you'll get there with Lucy where you're going to be, you want her to watch this stuff. Like, I started to watch Tokyo Drift with Augie, and he was like, he's into it, but he's also very confused by it.
Sure, yeah.
He's not there yet in the car scene. And so I know if I started Fast and the Furious, he'd probably do the same thing. He'd be like, I just don't get why is that guy? What's he doing? So Alex says, Dane, the parking car's layout is what's called show position.
Absolutely.
Common side at the MOSHQ. That's correct.
It is a common
That's how my
side.
dad always said. We got park and show position.
Yeah.
There is no other way.
Anyway, so really fun. I mean, we had a really good weekend.
Good.
Still got to finish Wayne's truck a little more. Some other spots I still really want to try one more time hitting some things, but it's pretty much done. And then we watched a couple more movies this weekend. Just chilled out. I rode last night.
Nice.
Got a few minutes on the rowing machine, yeah, that's been it. Pretty simple. Just getting ready, get it excited. I need to clean the Suburban next week or this week.
Get it prepared. Smelling good.
Good for everybody. It's going to be riding in it.
Yeah.
Gonna be a lot of people.
And then, that's about it. But I'm excited for next week. I'm excited to have all the folks in town. It's going to be exciting. Be good. So, Anthony, how was your weekend?
Oh, man. Oh, really quick. I got sent a note. Tomorrow, we are going live at 10 a.m. Don't forget. This is your reminder. We are going to be going over the final things of TR SEMA, kind of what you need to know, how everything started, a little bit of the history, a little bit of the kind of the plans and processes and what happens behind the scenes. So join us at 10 a.m. tomorrow, live
on the main channel,
on the Rag Company main YouTube channel. And so we'll see you then for that.
Oh, I forgot to say we did magna fishing Saturday night.
Oh, that's cool.
Went magna fishing. It was thought it was warm enough. Then we went out to Lucky Peak to Spring Shores, or the Discovery Park. We went to Discovery Park.
Okay.
Through the Magna there, wind came through the canyon, brutal, freezing.
I was just saying, it does get windy over there.
So then we went to Barber Park to throw the Magna for a while. Much better.
Okay.
Much warmer and easier to be at Barber
Makes
Park
sense.
than Discovery.
Yeah.
Just a few miles downriver. So anyway, go ahead, Anthony.
So what do I do, man? Friday night, I think Friday night I got home from work, and I think I was just kind of tired. I don't think I slept that great on Thursday night. So I think Friday night I got home and just, played with my daughter, and we hung out, and she's just doing a lot of stuff now. It's just so crazy. I mean, she's just getting so smart, and she's learning so much, and she... I don't know. I mean, it's one thing after another. She's kind of like a little tornado. She'll pick up things, and then before you know it, I'm looking at the ground, I'm like, oh my god, what are you playing with? And I'm like, she's like, I'm basically playing with everything. And she's got her little Target shopping cart that she loves, and she'll go to the pantry and go shopping.
Oh.
So she'll put things into her cart, right?
That's smart.
And then she puts her baby in her little spot, right? And she gives her baby the sip of the coffee that comes with the Target shopping cart, and then pushes her around, right? Takes her out, sets her on the couch to watch TV, then continues pushing around shopping. And I'm looking at this little human, and I go, "You're a functioning human right now.
You are doing human things.
You're doing human things now. This is crazy."
I didn't think a lot of that stuff happened till later. She seems to be on a fast track.
She's picking it up pretty quick, and she's just a ton of fun just to watch her and just to see all she does. It's just crazy, and I don't know. Like I said, I don't know where she's learning half this stuff other than just seeing what we do and thinking that's how you do things. And so she grabbed a thing of graham crackers from literally the third shelf in our pantry. I don't know how she got up there, right? Katie goes, "Who did you give those graham crackers?" I said, "No." She goes, "Where were they?" I'm like, "They're on the third shelf." how did she get up there? We have no idea to this day. She somehow made it up another 2 feet to get to this graham cracker. But anyway, so but yeah, she's so stinking cute. I can barely stand it. Every time I look at her, I'm just like, oh my God, it's the most amazing thing. But that happened, and then I think Friday is when I really buckled down and I said, all right, I'm going to continue with this Andor show to see if it picks up, right?
Because I kept insisting
because it's the greatest TV show ever created in the history of TV shows.
Well, that's not true.
I binge watched several episodes. So I think I got to
the best Star Wars
episode
content.
6 or 7 or somewhere around there. So I said, all right, Anthony, Friday night, let's see if we can get through 4 episodes. Let's see if we can get to episode 10. So
That's where it really ramps up.
Sat down on the couch.
The second half of the season is where it's all at.
And I blew through 4 episodes. I'm like, let's go. 1, here's 2. I'm like, all right, getting better. 3, all right, it's getting pretty good.
You were enjoying
now.
them at least, I hope.
Get to the next one, got better. And I think that show, it could have been 5 episodes, not 10. I'm glad it was 10 because it gave me something to look forward to. But holy smokes, it's a slow burn. And you have to get through arguably, the first 5 or 6 episodes for that to pick up. Or you can just start at 5 or 6 because it gives you the recap of the entire series in the first 10 seconds of every episode and nothing changes. So you get to start there.
But you don't get as much of the character development.
So
You just get
good.
your thing is you're more driven by plot and by the other things where you need to have an action happening,
right,
to
like
do
a
the
John
thing.
Wick movie.
Right,
No,
and that's fine.
this
But
needs
for
to
me,
have a
I'm cool with the
plot.
character development. Show me this character's evolution from where they're at to where they will be. Don't just be like, and then this happens, so now this person's motivation is different. And you're like, oh, okay, but that's not as interesting as seeing the actual acting of evolving.
You
Okay,
learn what makes him a rebel.
However, I know, but it wasn't even that bad. His life wasn't that bad. I mean, really, it wasn't that bad. It was fine.
It'll feel pretty bad.
It wasn't that
great.
bad. It wasn't bad.
He went to jail for
I mean,
no
you
reason.
saw his childhood.
Broke out of
that
jail.
happens all the time.
Saw his
Not all the time.
childhood where he was nearly
and he was
murdered.
Yep.
He was fine. It was a small situation.
So we don't want to spoil anything for you guys,
Anyway.
but I'm the one who really loved this.
BMO.
And Levi really liked
mom.
it too. Anthony was tough, but I kept insisting.
Carly says Andor slander will not be tolerated.
Thank you, Carly. I appreciate
I
that.
ended up
I
actually
agree. It's a
liking.
fantastic
I
show.
actually
It's her
ended up
favorite.
liking the series.
It's the best
I
TV
did.
show they've made. I like it better than The Mandalorian,
I
personally.
like the series, but I could see how that probably didn't have the numbers they were expecting.
No,
because
yeah.
of how much of a sleeper it is for the first 5 episodes. It's a long time to sleep before you pick something up. So anyway, so I binge watched that, and then Saturday was pretty busy actually because the landscapers came back out to start in on my backyard to finish up the rest of everything else. So for I don't even know, for the last week, my backyard was just, I had a cement extension done.
Yeah.
And then my grass was jacked up, because of all the
So
machines.
did you tear all the grass out?
Well, listen. So
Gotta
all the
resod.
grass was pretty much just wasted. And then on top of that,
Joey, absolutely not.
Sleep Like She. That is a garbage show. She-Hulk is trash. I mean, that is the worst, probably the worst Marvel show I've ever seen.
In Andor, none of the superheroes twerk.
That was
There are
built
no
on a
superheroes.
$5,000 budget, and it looks like
God.
it. So, anyway, I would say that my backyard was completely jacked up. And so what's been happening for the last week, for our dogs to go to the bathroom, we've been leashing them and walking them out to either the front yard or the side yard or somewhere down the street, because we let them go out. They're just going to be in the mud on a tore-up yard. It's been raining all last week. So it's just been kind of tough. And so I'm like, all right, landscapers are here on Saturday. Let's hopefully get somewhere to where the yard starts getting to be something. To my surprise, man, these guys work so freaking fast. It was insane. They showed up at 8:30, ready to rock and roll. And they saw the concrete pad, which had been 3 or 4 days now, so that kind of cured up a little bit. And they just went to town, dude. They completely just destroyed all my existing grass, brought in, I don't even know how much dirt. It looked like probably 5, 6, 7 yards of dirt. Started packing things down. They leveled out they leveled out a good portion of my yard. They moved all the old rock off into my side yard. They laid all new drop cloth down, brought in all new rock, like larger, big, like, you know, like, I don't know, it's called permabark. Like, it's big. It's like a large rock.
Chunky
and they
kind.
brought that stuff in. And what's crazy is I'm watching this unfold in literally hours. That backhoe thing they have, that little driving thing.
Was it
Wow.
like a bobcat or was it like an excavator?
It's like
style?
a bobcat, like, you know,
Okay.
like it's like narrow, but you're able to get through areas with it. It's just crazy because I remember when I did my front yard last year, right, and I talked about that and how much of a back-breaking process that was, and how many yards of rock were delivered, and how it was just tough and hard work. And these guys did almost twice that work in like 4 hours. And I'm like, man.
And that's why sometimes it makes sense to pay a professional rather than do it yourself.
Pretty crazy.
There's no shame in that.
And then from there, they completely redid all my sprinklers and then rerouted some lines. And then they added a drip line in. And they did all this other extra stuff based around where the sprinkler box was. And because they were adding dirt into my yard, they had to raise the whole sprinkler box and system up like by several feet, which is pretty cool as well. And then they prepped my pad for my shed even more. So I had asked them, I said, hey, like, is this packed down pretty well? And they're like, we've already stamped this like 1,000 times, but we're going to do it even more. And I'm like, all right, sweet. So what's cool is from my side yard, from where my house is to my fence in my side yard, it's like 13 or 14 feet wide, right? So it's a big side yard. But what I wanted them to do was kind of grade that side yard to where it'd go into my backyard, like fluidly with the rock. So I could potentially
park cars back there,
park a car or wheel a motorcycle back into a shed or whatever I'm going to do down the road. And they ended up doing all new dirt for the grass or for the sod, and then they did all new rock, all new drop cloth, rerouted sprinkler lines. What else did they do? I don't know. They did several other things. It was pretty involved process. But today is the day that they're going to bring in the sod, hopefully, and I'll have grass back there. But I'm still in the same spot. Can't have the dogs go back out there. Water's not turned on in my neighborhood, so I'm going to have to hand water for the next 3 weeks or 2 weeks, however that is. But now is the time to do it. I wait any longer, it's not going to get easier.
Yeah.
And so, so it was just a full day full of yard work, me pacing my house and being like, well, so I wonder if there's anything in here that I can do since that's getting done out there. I don't really know. And what I ended up doing was just taking the dogs out to go to the bathroom constantly. That was my job for the day. And but that was pretty much it. So Saturday was just kind of mapping out, seeing how the yard's coming together, and we will hopefully be able to add our finishing touches on it. Because basically what they're doing is they're giving us a fresh start with the layout, but it's still going to be our job. We're still going to plant all the trees. We're still going to plant all the shrubs and the bushes and all of that, and then see how everything comes together. I just want that freaking shed built, man. I cannot wait for that to be maybe a new room for myself. It's my new racing simulator room. Maybe it's Grant Hawtrey's family's new vacation spot, right?
Oh, yeah,
expanding.
They need to take a break away from the attic in my garage space. My brain starts wrapping around all the shed ideas, but I don't know if my HOA is going to approve the height that I have that shed set at. Because
you've got it at like 26 feet. I think
it's
that's what you said.
It's taller than the house.
So
it's
96-inch walls. So what's that come out to? 8 foot. So 8 foot walls, right? Yeah. But that's just the wall height, and then it goes up to a peak, which is like 11 and a half peak.
That's a big shed.
You're worried because it's going to peak up too high above your fence.
I think they're gonna call it out for being too high. I think that's going to be the thing. They can pry it
from your cold dead hands. Just go ahead and put it in there. Deal with the consequences.
So what do you do when an HOA is like, hey, we approve that, but that,
Dane and I don't live in HOAs. We're free men.
Yeah.
I know you are, but what do they do when they don't approve
West.
something?
That's right.
Are they going to literally say we're going to kick you out unless you...
Well, they'll probably fine you and take you to jail.
Well, what they do is they actually place a lien on your house, is what I've seen them do in other cases for people who don't pay their irrigation bill or whatever. But
Well, I know, but it's not about paying a bill. It's more about literally...
But I mean, that's the power they can exert on you.
I had friends who, in their previous house, they actually sued their HOA
Yeah.
because of something that they did on their house that they thought was they thought were approved or something. It took them years.
Like it wasn't explicitly.
No, it took them
forbidden.
years, and they were out. Like they had to move out, but they still sued their HOA and won.
Well, that's
Good
great.
for them.
And moved into a different neighborhood. But
HOAs
it was.
suck.
I mean, it's HOAs can be really
I
bad.
understand they have their place in some cases, but a lot of times it just becomes people
Yeah.
who are,
But there's
yelling
so
at
many
clouds.
sheds in your neighborhood that I'm hoping that they get it passed through that you don't have to worry about it.
The only thing I can see is
I mean,
that
you've got
it's-
more cars in your yard than anybody else in
that
your
is
neighborhood.
that is true.
And you park more cars outside of your house.
See,
is
Joey,
true.
that's the kind of stupid stuff that no pit bull slander. Come on.
Anyway, so I don't know. Man.
Correct.
We'll just kind of see. It's only height's the only thing I'm worried about.
Yeah.
If it is too high, then I drop it down to where I only have maybe 84-inch walls.
Yeah.
Right to 96, but what can you do? But
Well,
so
you
that
need to
was,
be able to have it tall enough for a reacher like gentlemen like yourself to be able to get in.
Hopefully,
Yeah,
right? I
that's
want enough
right.
room to party, do pull-ups inside there, right? That'll be my new pull-up
Yeah.
shed.
Oh man,
Just
that'd be
getting
great.
jacked, right? It's an 8 by 12 by 10. It could be a gym.
You could
This is your home gym. Not quite in the home, but close
just put some
enough.
climbing rocks on the wall for the kid.
You could put. No, it would be way too small. Barbells would go through the floor, right? You
Honestly,
drop
they
them.
let them street park the Ram, so I mean, the shed should be a no-brainer.
Street parking's fine. Street parking's fine. Trash cans in front of the house is fine.
See, that's the stuff
However-
HOAs normally complain
Yeah, no,
about.
that's all that's fine.
But they have a problem with the shed that's behind your fence, and
Well, they don't
No,
have a
I don't-
problem
they don't
yet.
have a problem. I
He's
don't
applied
know.
for it. He
I'm
doesn't.
applied
hasn't
But the
heard
fact
yet.
that he's worried about it tells me they must have done
Dane,
something in the past to indicate.
No, it's just because nobody's done it. I'm the first person.
Oh.
To make a
Nobody
tall
has
shed.
a shed this big in their backyard. I looked the entire neighborhood. It's not that big of a neighborhood. It's a very small neighborhood.
Well,
So-
it's part of a much larger neighborhood.
no, even
No,
that part.
that's a
no,
different
that's
HOA.
a small neighborhood. That's a different HOA.
I get that, but you're like right next to so many houses.
I know, but those houses right there, that's even small. It's one cul-de-sac that goes around, and I checked every backyard. Nobody has a shed this big. So that's why I'm saying I'm the test dummy for this large shed.
So
I'm excited for when you build a family of sheds in the backyard. After
know.
this
Yeah.
one gets approved,
I know.
it's on.
you
Well-
can make a shed centipede, like a
Whole
whole
other
bunch
house.
of
Yeah.
them just
Yeah.
connected
Shed
to each other,
centipede.
all the doors leading into the back door of the other, going all the
Well,
way around.
so I don't know if I talked about this on Thursday, but I talked to the concrete guy that had been at my house on Wednesday or whatever it was, and I said, "Hey, man, let me pick your brain for a second. If I were to extend my driveway by another bay, because I have
Right.
like 15, 16 feet
Yeah,
on one side.
right. You could be like
that
me, where you could park 3 cars at an angle.
Because
driveway.
I rocked that section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, if I were to remove the
Concrete.
rock and you were to come and concrete this, and it goes all the way, and my gate opens into a double gate, and you concrete like 10 to 15 feet into here, right?
Yeah.
So I have a full another parking spot.
Yeah, RV pad,
And he goes,
so you call it.
oh, you just want an RV parking? And I said, well, yeah, but I don't think I can fit an RV in here. He goes, you can absolutely fit an RV in here. And I said, well, this would increase the value of my house, right? And it would offer me an outdoor wash bay and another parking spot.
Correct.
And I go, all right, man, talk to me. How much are we talking to do all this in concrete? And he's like, like $6,500. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
It's 3 Honda Civics.
Yeah, it's like 3 Honda Civics, right? But I was thinking it was going to be like 15 grand for that much concrete. But no, like 6,500. And so I might have to pick up a lot of side details
Wow.
and get myself my concrete on the side,
you an
even though I
RV
spent
pad.
like $600 on that rock already on that side. Maybe I'll give it to somebody.
It's a
But-
small sacrifice.
So anyway, but that happened on Saturday, and then Sunday was a day of detailing for me, and that was the Miata's interior, right? So it's time to finally tackle that. Just so funny. That car, for being literally, what is that?
Yeah.
4 square feet of an
Yeah,
it's
interior.
like that 5 square feet of an interior, that it could be as much of a pain as it was.
It's hard to
that
get
thing
in and
clean.
out of those things and move around in there.
It is, yes, indeed. But also,
And it's low, so you're basically sitting on the floor almost.
Yeah.
Or kneeling to get into those
it
areas.
was so the interior of that thing wasn't that bad. But what I ended up having to do was remove all the trash. There was so much trash and leaves and everything like that inside of it that everything had to go first. So everything from vacuuming to trying to get a different attachments, the for real attachment.
Did you pull the
was
seats or
helpful.
no?
I did not pull the seats because I realized to myself, if I pull the seats here, it's only really giving me this much space underneath the seat, either the forward or the back position.
I used to pull the passenger seat out in mine all the time because I would
Well,
go to
you'd pick
like a
up
barbecue.
TVs.
I would put a
pick
full
up
cooler
TVs and
where the
things like
passenger
that.
seat was, and I'd
TV.
take that in the Miata, a giant cooler. It fit.
So
If you took the seat out.
I didn't want to take
Paper
the seats
shredders.
out. I was thinking about doing it, but I go, dude, I don't know. I don't know how long I'm going to have this car. So I didn't want to commit to taking the seats out. And then, I don't know, the bolts looked kind of like they had surface rust on them, and it's probably just a bolt thing. But I'm like, I don't want to mess with this. I just want to clean underneath there and call it good. So gave everything a very thorough vacuum, but like the leaves just kept coming. It was just crazy. Like every time I would open a different flap of fabric on that thing, more crap would come out, and it just was never ending. So just a ton of vacuuming back and forth.
Did you find the secret channels that funnel the rainwater down from the top down to the bottom?
I did, Dane, but I don't even know how you can get in there and thoroughly clean that.
Did you try blowing them out?
Yes.
Okay.
So I can blow everything out, but I'm talking about cleaning the filth.
But you can
making
also
it pure.
you can shoot water down. Like if you have a pressure washer, you
then
can
maybe I'll
blast
do that.
it. That would be the most effective.
I don't know. Anyway,
But those get
another
filled.
thing too. My favorite thing was after I cleaned up all the interior and I had extracted the carpets. I used a drill brush on the seats and carpets. The carpet on the Miata is my favorite carpet I've ever seen.
It's an easy
It's
carpet.
it's so tight. The weave is so tight on it that you can't screw it up. You can't destroy that fabric. And I'm like obsessed with it.
Yeah.
I want that in all of my vehicles.
So back in the old days, that was every type of car had that type of fabric in the
Basically.
carpet. And I have a book that shows just use a broom to sweep out that carpet, and
Fit a
then
broom in there?
No, it's literally a broom and a dustpan, and then they're like, and then if you want, you can vacuum some of it. But that's how
boy.
tight the weave is. They're offering to use a broom.
That's
to
hilarious.
sweep it up.
Dude, it's so nice. I am obsessed with the carpet. But I cleaned it up. I can't believe it, dude. That carpet looked amazing. Just so good after I was done. But my favorite part was when I got to the plastics and everything like that. This dude put a bunch of Velcro and like sticky stuff all over the dash to hold whatever gauge or whatever the heck was sitting there, thermal temperature, whatever it was. That adhesive fused to that plastic. And so I ended up having to steam that plastic substantially. And then I used a plastic razor blade and I started scraping off that glue. But the worst part was the second I pulled away the steamer, the glue would harden immediately again, right? And I'm like, crap, dude. So I couldn't catch a break there. And my biggest regret was I thought I got some of it. And then I took a microfiber towel
And I caught it.
and it caught it and then dragged it and smeared it all over the face. Basically made the problem 10 times worse. So I took a huge risk. And I
T?
Nope.
Ulix?
I grabbed Ulex, and I'm like, "This is a big risk." I
On that very plastic interior.
I
You
could
have
absolutely.
tea that you could have used.
I didn't bring it with me. I
know,
right?
you could have.
So
The plastic Miata interiors, though, is surprisingly resilient. It is tough stuff, tougher
Well,
than you'd
There's also
expect.
Shara, which is orange based.
I took that Ulex, used it, couldn't believe it,
Got it off.
got it off. I removed a little color, but not anything you would see. But on the towel, I could see color. Could have also been adhesive, but. Yeah, dude, I couldn't believe it. I was like, no way. I got it. Like, it's amazing. So, but I did that, knocked out the trunk. It was just, I just felt like that it shouldn't have been a day's job. But took me about 4 or 5 hours to do everything from the extracting to the cleaning. And then the other big thing I did, which I think will be pretty cool in retrospect, the seat, the driver's side bolster on the outside had a tear in it where you could see the foam coming through, right? I sewed that back together.
No, nice.
I sewed that.
Impressive.
I took that thread. I threaded the needle, got it in there, and I just
Because this
Sewing
Miata has
skills
cloth seats,
they're
right?
world renowned.
Yeah, and I got that back together. Looks mint. Looks better than what it does.
Sewed it.
Looks like a soda, but looks great. And so I did that, and then I also ended up restoring the steering wheel with the Color Lock Leather Fresh and going through because it had all the marks on it from alignments and things like that, and that looks great again as well. So the interior smells good, feels good. I used Terminator on the carpets and the fabrics as well as Express on everything like that. everything cleaned up beautifully, extracted everything with O&R and that, and then steamed out everything else, right? Steam in the vents, steam on all the plastics. And, Katie came out, and because she saw what it looked like before. It was just full of trash, and it was disgusting. And she walked out, and she goes, "Oh, my God." She's like, "You should just keep doing this." And I'm like, keep doing what? She's like, "You just keep doing, like, just flipping these cars, right?" And I go...
You're messing with me.
I'm like, you understand what you're saying, right? There will always be a crappy
door that is going to be unlocked here, and you might not enjoy it.
You might not want what you're saying right now. And if
She's like, how much money we got to put in?
If I had that concrete pad, I could really, get some stuff done. But no,
5 crappy cars. How about that?
That was pretty much it for Sunday. I mean, then I watched the rest of, finished that up, watched the rest of Andor, finished that, and I was like, all right. I was kind of left a little empty, and I was like,
well, then you got a critical piece of info.
And I got a critical piece of info, but then I never seen Rogue One, so I watched Rogue One last night, and I said that I don't even need that critical piece of info. They all die anyways.
Spoiler for like a 5-year-old movie.
We already had an argument of this morning where we had to argue with Anthony.
Everybody just dies. Whatever, man. It's all good.
I would much rather have that be the ending to something than just drag out characters.
There's still a whole other season in Andor that's coming.
What's the point, though, Levi? What's the point of another
season? See, that was
season?
the critical piece of information. He thought it ended on a cliffhanger, and I told him there's one more season coming.
Yeah.
There will be one more season.
But how does he get K2SO?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
How does he join the how does he fully join the rebellion?
But maybe sometimes life has an expiration date, but there are things you can do that you can enjoy and will live on as a legacy in between.
There's questions that need answered.
I think Star Wars is flawed.
Ooh,
Star Wars it's a flawed thing.
It's fine, whatever. So anyways, that's all I got. So I think it is time to wrap this up because tomorrow we're going to be going live. We're going to be doing a lot more talking as well as this Thursday where you can find us for Q&A Thursday, where we're going to be answering all of your detailing questions, all of your shed questions, all of your magnet fishing questions, and maybe even your own massage chair questions itself and how to keep that leather properly lubricated. So,
there you go.
Dane, can you take us away, please?
Yes. So, as he mentioned, tomorrow we will be doing a live stream where we get into the nuts and bolts of TR SEMA over on the main Rag Company channel. It is available to go click on the Notify Me button so that you are given a heads up before it goes live tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And of course, then Q&A, as he pointed out, happens every Thursday on this channel. So make sure you're subscribed to both channels. That way you just don't miss anything. Easiest way to do it. And before you leave, please click like on this video. Helps us out, helps us get in front of more people. And and if you find yourself with a little extra time and you want to pop onto Apple, and leave a review for the podcast, we haven't seen too many of those recently. So if you want to throw one out there too, please, by all means. All right, that's it, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.
See ya.